The drama surrounding Red Bull has now extended to Max Verstappen, and it seems like the four-time world champion might be on the verge of a massive career shift. Internal power struggles, a stagnating car development process, and key staff departures have exposed cracks in the once dominant team. Could Verstappen finally be ready for a fresh challenge? And more importantly, how does Mercedes fit into the picture? While Toto Wolff has remained diplomatic when asked about the possibility of signing Verstappen, there's no denying that the Dutch driver's long-term future at Red Bull is looking increasingly uncertain. The real question is, will he make the bombshell move to Mercedes, or could an entirely different team swoop in to steal one of the most dominant drivers in F1 history? Red Bull has faced serious struggles with the RB20, and early signs suggest that the RB21 isn't shaping up to be much better. With Jos Verstappen openly admitting that his son won't stick around if the car isn't capable of winning races, the possibility of an early exit is starting to feel inevitable. To make matters worse, Red Bull has been making questionable decisions that have frustrated Verstappen behind the scenes. One of the biggest controversies so far has been the driver swap just 2 races into the season. Liam Lawson, who many believed deserved a full season opportunity, was unceremoniously dropped in favor of Yuki Tsunoda. Reports indicate that Verstappen was furious about this move, not because he doubted Tsunoda's abilities, but because it signaled that Red Bull was prioritizing driver changes over fixing the real issue, their car. Even Red Bull's longtime advisor, Helmut Marko, admitted that Verstappen is unhappy with how things are being handled. He stated, "We know Max isn't pleased, but we need 2 cars at the front, not just for the Constructors' Championship, but to support Max in winning his 5th title. Yuki has made no mistakes so far, and he's full of confidence." However, behind closed doors, the situation is far more complicated. Verstappen isn't just concerned about Tsunoda's career trajectory, he's worried that Red Bull is losing focus. He has always been vocal about wanting a competitive car, and if Red Bull is unable to provide that, his loyalty to the team could reach its breaking point. The biggest problem facing Red Bull right now isn't just internal politics, it's their long-term competitiveness. Several key figures have left the team, and the uncertainty surrounding the future of legendary designer Adrian Newey is adding to the instability. Marko himself acknowledged that Newey's absence has been a huge loss, saying, "Of course, we miss Adrian. He is one of a kind, but we have built a strong technical team. Still, the RB21 is difficult to drive, while the Racing Bulls car is much more predictable." This unexpected comparison between the Red Bull and Racing Bulls chassis suggests that Red Bull's problems go far beyond the driver lineup. They have a fundamental design issue. If Verstappen believes these problems won't be fixed before the next major regulation shift in 2026, he won't hesitate to explore other options. If Verstappen leaves Red Bull, there are 2 major contenders for his signature: Aston Martin and Mercedes. Although he has publicly committed to Red Bull, history has shown how quickly things can change in F1. If the team fails to address their performance issues, Verstappen will be forced to look elsewhere to continue fighting for championships. McLaren CEO Zak Brown has already made a bold prediction, stating, "I think Max will leave at the end of this year, most likely to Mercedes. Aston Martin is an option, especially with Adrian Newey rumored to be joining, but Mercedes has the track record. They've won multiple championships, they've got stability, and we know Toto Wolff likes him. If I were betting, I'd bet on Mercedes." Brown has a reputation for stirring the pot, but this time, he may have a point. One of the biggest factors that could lure Verstappen to Mercedes is the 2026 engine regulations. With power units playing a massive role in defining the future of F1, Mercedes and Ferrari appear to be the best prepared for the shift. If the regulations are delayed or altered, especially if sustainable V10 engines are introduced, Verstappen's decision could become even easier. Additionally, there's a strong relationship between Jos Verstappen and Toto Wolff. Now that Lewis Hamilton is heading to Ferrari, Mercedes has a golden opportunity to rebuild their team with a fresh lineup. While George Russell is locked in, the team has yet to make a long-term commitment to their second driver. Young talent like Andrea Kimi-Antonelli is highly rated, but if Verstappen becomes available, there's no way Wolff would pass up the chance to sign him. Wolff has played it cool in public, recently stating, "It's an open secret that we want to retain our drivers long-term. We don't make every negotiation public, and discussions are ongoing." There are many factors to consider in any contract, both from the driver's side and the team's side. But let's be real. If Verstappen expresses interest, those discussions could change in an instant. Even in Drive to Survive, we saw Wolff's immediate reaction when Hamilton's departure was confirmed. His first thought was Verstappen. And while the situation has evolved since then, the opportunity remains very real. All of this points to one conclusion. The upcoming regulation changes will define more than just car performance. They will shape the future of F1's biggest stars. Verstappen holds all the power in this situation, and Red Bull will have to work harder than ever to convince him to stay. If Verstappen truly believes Red Bull is no longer capable of delivering a dominant car, he won't hesitate to move. Mercedes and Aston Martin are both waiting in the wings, ready to seize the opportunity to sign one of the greatest drivers of this generation. So, do you think Verstappen would be the perfect fit for Mercedes? Or will he surprise us all and take on a different challenge? Let us know in the comments below. And before you go, make sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen right now.